Welcome to our series on doing analysis in English. Today we would like to lay the foundations. Most importantly, why do we analyze texts? Obviously, we do so because it is a task in the abattoir that you cannot avoid. But even in real life, you might be interested in assessing the quality of a piece of literature, for example, to understand if you really want to invest time into reading a novel. What would you gain from reading inferior literature? In discussions, you would like to find out if somebody tries to trick you. This often is the case in political debates or when drawing up contracts of any kind. But keep in mind that people also show slightly dishonest behavior like virtue signaling or pandering, and you surely would not like to be fooled by that. Most importantly, however, proper skills in analyzing texts help you to answer questions regarding the quality and trustworthiness of text. Just how far can I trust this text? Is there anything fishy in here? Is it worth my time and efforts? After all, why read any article when you can safely assume that will not benefit from the experience? If you have followed my words, you of course have spotted that I have used a rhetorical question in every paragraph. But trust me, I am not leading you astray. One final thought on the why. If you learn to analyze texts written by other, hopefully great authors, this also hones your own argumentation skills. You will be able to compose better texts yourself precisely because you have learned to reflect on the various qualities of texts. But with great power comes great responsibility, so please use your skills for the better of humankind. To keep this video short, we will focus on a printed text, so no images, graphs, films, games, comics and so on, that may appear in the abattoir. These are opinion, editorial, essay, novel, article, scientific paper, letter to the editor, short story, and op-ed. Pretty confusing. Let's bring some order to this chaos. It's always useful to try and create visual overviews of the things you want to learn. So, let's create an overview of types of texts that will resemble a family tree. For starters, the texts we will discuss later fall into one of two broad categories. On the left side of the fictional text, that is any text that tells a made-up story and is a piece of art. Since the abattoir has never featured any poetry, we are left with basically two types of prose text, short stories and novels. The apparent difference between them is their length, but short stories also tend to be denser in content and devices. On the right side are the non-fictional texts, whose claim is much larger than the bland label. They claim to tell the truth and promise that you will learn something about reality, that is the physical world we live in. Here, we can distinguish between informative texts like articles and argumentative texts. The job of articles is to report the news, that is to give an accurate account of events. Argumentative texts have to explain a situation, and they will thus mix giving information and constructing arguments. While not all examples will completely fit this distinction, scientific papers, editorials and essays usually take an objective stance. They try to abstract from the author and aim at establishing a complete picture of the situation. Op-eds, opinion pieces and letters to the editor are not bound by that convention and give you an argument that starts and ends with the author, that is, the argumentation in them may perfectly well be slanted and draw only on some ideas. If you want to learn more about the various text types, Weebly, the National Literacy Trust, put together good material. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.